Do you believe in the science and the history that we've all been taught that all life started in Africa?
I don't know it deeply, but it does make sense to me.
All life started here.
Yeah, I feel like I can believe that. Because let me just say, surface level.
Sure.
In the Bible, Adam and Eve, they were born at a specific place, right? So let's say the Garden of Eden was in Africa.
Yeah.
And then they spread it from Africa. So that's why I can say that it can make sense to me for it to be like all life started in Africa.
Sure.
So I can't say it's fact, but I can see why that would be true.
Can I ask a controversial question, but it's not important for today?
Okay.
If we all started from Adam and Eve, according to yourself and the Bible,
Yeah.
does that mean there was a lot of incest for us to get to where we are today?
That's something I also thought about. Because I'm sure Adam and Eve had a child.
Yeah.
They had children, 2 boys. But also another thing I thought of was, the fact that, okay, the Bible said they were made, the first people to be made. It didn't say after that no one was created.
So there's a chance that God made more.
Yeah, there was a chance that he made more somewhere.
But
and
we don't
then
know.
They came and then they met with the children of Adam and Eve. Because remember, it was 2 boys. So now it's sort of like, okay, if it's 2 boys and there was no daughters, where did they get the females to? Or did they sleep with Eve? We don't know. You see, things like that.
That's tough.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that it didn't necessarily say...
In your head, what makes sense is that God made Adam and Eve, and then somewhere else he made some more people.
Maybe, in order to run away from the incest concept. But I'm not really close off to that, because maybe it could have been possible that maybe they had a daughter and then those daughters, because there's also stories in the Bible where Lot had daughters and they wanted to sleep with him.
Yeah.
So incest was a thing around that time.
I can't just go past that so quickly. Lot had daughters that
wanted to sleep. Yeah,
got him drunk
yes,
and tried to sleep with him.
Exactly. So you see that it's not a far off...
incest.
It's not a far off concept. Like, it's not oh my gosh, that is not possible.
No,
because of the fact
scary.
that there was traces in there. So I don't know the full story, but I can see where people are coming from if they had to put it in that way.
Because I know even today, I know Indians, specifically in India, and there are still certain cultural groups in South Africa where marrying your first cousin is something that's approved.
Yeah, sure.
Adam and Eve were black.
It's not make sure.
Huh?
It's not make sure. I can't say. Are you telling me or you're asking me?
No, so my question was, do you believe life started in Africa? And you said you believe so?
I can see it. Yeah, I can see
and
it.
If life started in Africa, that means they were black.
I'm not sure.
They had melanin and carbon. They were dark-skinned.
Because you're saying that African means that automatically they were black.
No, I'm asking you. It's a question.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying I'm not sure if it
could life have started in Africa, but they were white?
It's possible.
You think it's possible?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't think that because it was Africa, they would have been black.
Okay.
They could have been white. They could have been white. They could have been Chinese. They could have been anything.
So if life started in Africa, and most people are going to assume that Africans were dark-skinned, my follow-up question would be, where do white people, Indians, Chinese people come from in your theory? Because you said we were made black, which would make me assume there were other people that were made white or made Chinese or made Indian. Where was your God making these people? How did they come about, in your opinion? That's why I'm saying it's unfair to ask these questions, because I don't know how far your knowledge and ideologies on these things go.
Okay, maybe the last thing I will answer regarding this conversation.
Zero. Ngisazongenela, khuleka.
Wow, okay. When I say made black, I'm seeing it more as in like in your DNA, you were born in this skin.
But we come from somewhere, right?
Yes, we come from Adam and Eve.
Who are black, which is why we're black. If Adam and Eve were white, then where do black people come from? From monkeys, somewhere.
But also, isn't it influenced by the fact that if you're in Africa, the sun
so the reason
that your hair is darker because of the sun, or your skin is because of the sun. You need that melanin in order to protect you. In Europe, they didn't have to be black because they didn't need melanin because the sun wasn't as strong. So I can even go back to saying, what's that thing? What's the theory of animals adapting to whatever environment
Evolution.
that they. Yes, that. So it could mean that, like, let's say we were all white,
Yeah.
ne? And then because a lot of the people stayed in Africa, they became darker over time to adapt to the sun and etc. That's why
bayasha.
our noses are wider, because
We
you
have to
see,
breathe in more oxygen.
environment. And then some people moved to the west, to Europe, etc., and they became lighter because they didn't get contact with the sun like that. And over the years, their features adapted to the environment.
So when you compare black South Africans to Zimbabweans, to black people from Haiti, Jamaica, and you say we all behave the same, even though we're in different environments, and you're arguing melanin and saying it's more than just pigmentation. See, this is me running away from your question. You believe that because white people have been living in colder climates and are now lighter and have different hair and smaller noses, that's the reason why they can't sing naturally, why they can't dance, why they're not rhythmic.
No, those things, Pella, those things are things that you can learn.
But when you say we behave like other black people, are those not things you can learn? There are white people that can dance. There are white people that can sing very well, just like a black mama from a African American church.
Okay,
that's
so
something they learned.
Okay, so you're saying that, I'm saying that white people, it would mean that they can't dance because they are white. And
you said we behave the same. So I'm just asking, when you say behave the same and you attribute it to more than just we're dark, that there's something more. I'm just asking.
I think maybe it's just their culture and the way that they lived at that time. White people, because they were in the European side, they adopted a specific culture. And here in Africa, the black people, we had our culture, so it was passed down in that way.